I don't actually have to sit in any
Oh, yeah.
and this year I'm not a manager or supervisor,
Okay.
so I don't have to like go to any
Yeah, the coverage.
intense ones.
Yeah, 'cause
So I'm just like seeing people, and it's really nice.
Okay, so
So
you're doing like the we're live.
we're
We're
live.
live. Okay, this is so exciting. Well, okay, so this is our second episode of the Brilla Broadcast, and this time we have Lizzie Evans who's going to talk about the culture at Bria, which we're so excited to have her because she's been at Bria for
Six years.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's kind of a long time, but has felt very quick.
really
Short. Yeah.
okay. So I want you like to talk about a little bit about the Bria culture, or maybe like your journey at Bria.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah, this is my sixth year. And I came to Bria fresh out of college.
Mhm.
I was sort of searching for purpose at the young age of 22. And my college had like been putting on a fair, and I saw a Teach for America sign.
Oh, nice.
And I've always loved working with kids and being around kids. And I really had no idea what I wanted to do. Like my major didn't really push me in any one direction.
Okay.
And so I applied to TFA. I happened to be placed in New York, which is where I'm from.
Oh, nice.
And then they got me an interview at Bria.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then, like, once you interviewed at Bria, how was that like? Was it?
I remember the interview was really nerve-wracking and different than like anything else I had done, because part of it I was like very prepared for my teaching demo, and I knew I was going to have these like conversations with the principal, and then there was that other portion of the Bria interview that's like the culture interview. And I remember being asked questions. I was like, I was not prepared for this question about like what what animal I think I might be, or like just
Wait, what did you end up answering?
I
for that
think I said
question?
wolf,
Okay.
because I feel like I'm simultaneously like a pack animal and like my alone time.
Okay.
So I think
Interesting.
I'm a wolf.
Okay.
But maybe my answer has changed over the years.
Well, I sort of think now you're an instructional coach.
Now I'm
right?
an instructional
You became
coach.
a teacher where you were
Yes.
like on and doing, and now sort of that balance, sort of
Yeah.
like a wolf in the sense that you're just like helping teachers lead while having the
Yes.
time to think and
Love it.
instruct.
Maybe I started as a beta and now I'm moving more toward alpha. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you also do the culture interviews, or did you ever do the culture
I
interviews?
did. So like I can't remember if it was my first year. I can't remember if it was maybe my second, but I got to be a part of the talent team. And so I was starting to do these interviews for people after only being here for about a year or two. And so I got to be on the other side of asking people all these questions and trying to figure out, who would fit best in our culture or in our space. Which is a lot of responsibility, to sort of be tasked to like identify or figure out if this person would be good here.
Yeah.
And it made me think about my own experience on the other side of that when I was the one applying.
Yeah.
And you always want to put your best foot forward in an interview, but when I got to finally do that, it made me sort of think about the questions a little differently and really think about what makes a community member a good community member.
Yeah.
And especially one at Bria.
So how was like? Can you tell me about your first day at Bria, or like something someone?
Well, I remember most, and this sort of probably fits with like my belonging and sort of why Bria just felt very different from like any other professional space I had been in. But because of Teach for America, I was doing sort of summer school, and so we were in the BCPE building, and I was teaching this class of fourth graders, and I was in the teacher lounge with my other TFA core members, and I remember these two women coming into the lounge and being like, "Are you Lizzie Evans?" I was like, "Yes, I am." And it turns out it was like my future co-teacher, my future assistant principal, who were coming in to like sneak in and see who I was and wanting to meet me. And I think that was probably one of the first examples of how people at Bria go above and beyond to like make you feel welcome and at home.
Yeah.
And those people are still to this day like some of my best friends.
Yeah, because I feel like we always hear like Bria is such a family, like,
Mhm.
and in that like just the family culture that we're trying to embed at Bria, because it's like we're here for you We want to hear you. We want you to grow.
Yeah.
And we want you to stay too.
I
And
know.
you've been here
I've been here a while. And like I said, it feels like it's gone by pretty quickly. But I think at the end of the day, you know, my why for this work is really important. It has kept me around. But I think the people that I've met and the people that have fostered my own development and have helped me feel good about what I do has really been the greatest gift, I guess, Brilla has given me. I have people here that I've met here that have left, and people that have stayed that are still in my life, and I know they'll continue to be in my life.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, so deep.
No, I love it.
But it's
so
true.
It's so true.
It's cheesy, but it's true.
Yeah, and I think like in that, I think part of it is also the kids that bring that joy and like, I mean, people probably want to hear like really cool like kid stories or scholars. We call them. Like, can you tell me a little bit like a funny story that you've had with a
Sure. I have many. I think when I was fourth grade, I was a fourth grade teacher for a very long time, for 4 years. And one of the best memories I have of students did involve me dressing up as Scooby-Doo. I loved Scooby-Doo. Yes, exactly. My team and I actually, for the talent show, we were like the intermission act.
Yeah.
And so my fourth grade team and I decided, what better talent do fourth grade teachers have than reading? So we decided to create like a read aloud skit that involved Scooby-Doo. And I came out as Scooby-Doo and threw Scooby snacks to all the kids at Roosting Rally. Like Roosting Rally is on Fridays, and like all the kids gather and do their chants and cheers, and kids were like, who is that? And then when they saw that it was me, it was really cool to see kids so excited. I know that's like part of one of the best things of this job is being around kids when they feel happy and when they feel excited. And so that's definitely a core memory I have, my Scooby costume and surprising the kids. Yeah.
That's so, I mean, that's so sweet. And it's such a teacher. That's
I know. My family, like, and I mean, the next story I would tell you is like at test prep last year, I dressed up as Pikachu because our theme for test prep was Pokemon.
Wow.
So I created this chant with the kids. So anytime I'd say Pika Pika, they would say Pika Pika back. And yeah, like fostering that sense of joy for kids was always the highlight of my day.
Are they still using what was it, the app where you go and you sort of
Pokemon Go or something like that?
Go?
I have no idea, but I think like actual Pokemon is coming back now. Like all the kids were dealing in cards last year. Like that was one of the like prizes kids could earn. It hasn't. I don't know I don't understand the obsession. I did it when my brother was, but it's back in full force, Pokemon.
Yeah. So you talked about our roosting rally. Can you go into some more details into that? Because that is part of our like culture, and we have this every Friday, and sort of a thing we bring up in the interview process. We tell them about the roosting rally. Can you talk a little bit about what it is and what people should look forward to that?
Yeah. So roosting rally, my first year when I went to my first roosting rally, I was like, it was a bit of a shock. So all the kids gather in one space, and each classroom has their own cheer or chant that they've created in the beginning of the year, either with their teacher for the older kids in middle school, or their teacher has created this chant for them to a popular song that they might recognize or a beat they recognize. And each class goes around and does their cheer, and the kids love it. It is so intense. It's like one of the only sort of parts of school that they get to be as loud as they possibly want, but then they're all really quiet, so they watch the other kids. And after that, we get to hear about a scholar of the week. Okay. So like every single week, there's sort of a surprise student who has demonstrated some either amazing character virtues or academic excellence, and they're celebrated. And then we also learn about different colleges during that time too. So students are thinking ahead and thinking to their future of where they might want to go.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot,
sure,
but do you remember your chant?
Oh yeah.
And
yes.
Do you mind?
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. I mean, it's very quiet in here, so it's not going to have the same effect.
Okay, but if I need to clap,
Okay.
I don't mind clapping.
I mean,
Our
it's not
production
really a
team
clap
doesn't mind
one,
clapping up in the back over
but
there.
I'll do a portion of it. And I love that this is going to live on the internet forever. Okay, so my classroom, all of our classroom names are named after colleges and universities.
Yeah.
So my 4th grade classroom was JMU, or James Madison University.
Okay.
So this is how one of our chants go, not all of them.
Okay.
This is just one of many. So it was JMU on 3, we're the best, can't you see? 4th grade, don't mess with me. Going after that degree, like, nope, you wish you were JMU. You wish you were JMU. Yep, we rock that purple and gold. We rock that purple and gold. Put your right hand up, put your left hand up, because we're reaching to the top with Miss Evans and whoever my co-teacher was. We're a team that can't be stopped. We are the Duke Dogs. Duke Dogs.
Wow!
Yeah. I hope my pitch was...
Okay, what beat is that?
Okay.
What song is that? Because it's definitely from like...
It's from something that like really is escaping me right now. But the kids love it.
They love it.
And they remix it now.
Yeah.
So the kids, another cool thing is that like all of the songs that we've done in the last 10 years, because that's how long we've been open, right?
Yeah.
The kids learn those old songs as well as their new ones, and they get to remix them and add their own lyrics and spins, and it's really cool.
I love that. That is so sweet. I was like, what song is that coming? I was like, where's that beat
now
from?
It's gonna be like on the tip of my tongue all night.
After this, I'm gonna like text you
We
and
need
be
to
like,
find
okay,
it.
I'm gonna have to find out.
We're gonna do that next.
Yeah. So in that, so I asked this a little bit, but so in getting to know your teachers before coming into the schools, I guess what advice you would give them like before entering?
I think this pertains to sort of any school if you want to go into teaching, and especially like public education. But at Brilla, I think you really need to have a clear why for coming to this job every day. This is tough work. It's work that can be really difficult. Your highs are very high and your lows are very low. And so having a strong sense of your why is really important. And then with that, having people who can constantly be there for you to remind you of that and to lift you up when you're having those low days is really important. I feel really lucky to have created relationships with people at my work who can do that for me. And I think that's sort of what's unique about Brilla. You're going to have family, you're going to have friends outside of work who can tell you, you're doing your best, you got this. But they don't really know what it's like in and out of those classrooms every day. And so Brilla gave me people who understood that. And were able and still are able to help me when I'm feeling down or tell me an honest truth that I might need to hear in order to move forward. And so I think that's what I would tell anyone who's looking at Brilla. It's a place that you are going to be held accountable by people who love you and people who want to see you do best. Because at the end of the day, you doing your best is what will result in helping our kids. And so if you have that why, Brilla is a place where I think you can find those people to help you fulfill that.
That's so beautiful because it's basically defining like purpose, making sure like understand your purpose in the most beautiful form and understanding like you're involved in a community.
Yeah.
And like understanding the community that you're coming in like helps with that. And then also I think the addition to that is the instant gratification you get from kids, right? Like the hugs and like or like the feel all of the smiles.
Definitely.
Or like the stories they come and tell about their families.
Yes. Definitely.
And it's just so great. So I don't know how long we have left, but I'm thinking
we could go on and on.
Yeah, we can go on and on. So in that, okay, so I'll ask you, actually, I'm really interested. So we have about 2 more minutes or 4 more minutes. So, so you said you're from New York.
Yes.
And are there other people from New York that you feel are your colleagues or people coming outside? Like in that, like coming to the Bronx in itself is a culture, right? So can you talk a little bit about that culture in itself, like working in the Bronx and what to expect a little bit? I know you're from New York, but just talk about anyone coming outside, what they should expect.
Sure. I think all New Yorkers are quite We have a lot of pride.
Yeah, I'm
for
from the
where
Bronx.
we're from,
Yeah.
and
I'm from the Bronx.
right,
So
like
I'm
like you get this. Like we don't necessarily follow all the rules when we're crossing the street, but like we think we can do that, but like other people can't. And I think, I mean, I didn't grow up in the Bronx. I grew up downtown, in Manhattan, and something that New York instilled in me growing up was how beautiful diversity is and how beautiful difference is. And I think coming to Bria, whether you're going to be working in the Bronx, right? But coming to New York City as a whole can be a culture shock in that you are suddenly in a very loud place where people on the street might not necessarily help you up if you trip, but then you also are going to find people in New York who will. And I think Bria is sort of one of those special places in the context of New York and in the context of the Bronx, in that our families are exceptional and our families have chosen to bring their kids to a space that they know they'll be taken care of and loved, and taught really well. And so for anyone who's new to New York, I would say embrace it, embrace the chaos. Don't take things too personally.
Yeah.
Because it's not really about you.
It's not about you.
And I think, especially if you're coming to New York City for the first time and working in this space, you really do have to think about how it's not about you. You're here for potentially something else. And that isn't to say that you shouldn't take care of yourself, right? But you need to be open to hearing about people's experiences, especially because what you've experienced will not be the same as what your colleague might have, what the kids in front of you have gone through. Their highs might be very different from your highs. Their lows might be different from yours. And so you need to be open to hearing people's experiences and being willing to listen, and also be willing to like unlearn some of the things you might have learned in your own home, and in your own life.
Wow, Lizzie. That's
Again, so deep.
Yeah,
Cut me off.
But so great because I feel like I learned so much from this, and I'm so grateful that you came and talked about the culture of Bria, because I also feel that way as being part of the talent team and making sure like the teachers coming in sort of understand that to its fullest form, and the fact that you're saying it just makes it feel like there's a purpose to like being a teacher, and also the whole talent team and the recruitment team. So thank you so much.
This was fun.
Yeah, this is so fun. We're so happy to be here. And like, again, you can tune in next time. But right now, we're so grateful to have Lizzie and talk about the culture of Bria.
Thank
All
you.
right, until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my God, that was so great.